I can't believe what's going down in Ashburn. While y'all were out enjoying the holidays, the organisation was basically on fire behind the scenes. We've got firings that Quinn didn't even want, a GM stepping way out of line. And now it turns out that all the success from 2024 might have been a total illusion. And the worst part, this could end up costing Quinn his job. But hold up, because we've also got updates on the future of our star left tackle and a move no one saw coming. Stick around till the end, because this is getting spicy. News 1. Internal chaos and coordinator firings. The bomb just went off in Ashburn. And I'm going to say what no one else is saying. This team still has the same issues it had under Snyder, just wrapped in a different package. Jordan Schultz just dropped a report saying there's been major internal drama going back to 2024, when everything looked peachy on the outside. Remember that magical 12-5 season? Turns out while we were celebrating, things were falling apart behind closed doors. And here's what's got me heated. They fired Cliff Kingsbury and Joe Witt Jr., but multiple reports say Dan Quinn did not want those guys gone. You get what that means, right? It means Adam Peters and the front office are sticking their noses where they don't belong. Let me tell you something. When a GM starts telling the head coach who to hire and fire, that team is headed straight for disaster. But wait, it gets worse. Schultz says the front office isn't just meddling with staffing. They're telling the coaching staff which players to use. Can you believe that? Imagine Adam Peters walking into the locker room telling Quinn, "Hey, play this guy more, bench that one." That's unacceptable. That's exactly what Snyder used to do. And look where that got us. 25 years of mediocrity. Now let's talk about Kingsbury. The guy had 1 year left on his deal. The Commanders pulled him away from the Raiders by offering him a third year that Vegas wouldn't. And now, after just one rough season, where Jaden Daniels was hurt, by the way, they let him go. And get this, reports say Jaden and other offensive players didn't want Kingsbury fired. So now our franchise QB, the future of this team, is upset with the front office. That's a huge red flag. Let me ask you this. How's Quinn supposed to succeed if they won't let him do his job? The man took us to the NFC Championship game in his first year. We won in Tampa. We beat Detroit on the road against the top seed. And now, after a season where our QB got hurt 3 times and only played 7 full games, they're putting Quinn on the hot seat. Here's what really worries me. If this disconnect between the front office and coaching staff is real, Quinn's days are numbered. Historically, when a head coach's coordinators get fired, the head coach is next. Just look at what happened with Ron Rivera. First Jack Del Rio got the boot, then Rivera was gone a year later. And don't forget, Bobby Johnson, the offensive line coach, also got canned. That was Quinn's guy. The Giants let him go after 2023. Quinn gave him another shot, and now he's out again. You think that's a coincidence? I don't. That's the front office sending a message. We run this, not you. Look, I get that GMs have opinions about player usage. They build the roster. They manage the cap. But there's a line you don't cross. And that line is when you start interfering with the day-to-day coaching. If you're going to do that, why even have a head coach? Why pay him millions if you're not going to let him coach? And here's the kicker. Adam Peters didn't even want Dan Quinn. His top choice was Ben Johnson, Detroit's offensive coordinator. But Johnson turned them down, just like he did with the Raiders. So Quinn was the fallback plan. And now it looks like Peters is trying to micromanage everything because he didn't get his guy. So I'm asking you, did this team really change after Josh Harris bought it? Or did we just swap out the name on the office door while keeping the same toxic culture? Because if that's the case, we're doomed to repeat the same mistakes. News 2. Laremy Tunsil contract. But hey, it's not all bad news. Let's talk about something positive. Adam Peters just made a public statement about Laremy Tunsil, and this is big. Peters said, and I quote, "We definitely want to get a deal done with him, and preferably sooner rather than later." You heard that? Sooner rather than later. Now I know some of y'all are thinking, why would Peters say that out loud? Doesn't that kill his leverage? And I'm telling you, when you've got a player like Tunsil, you don't play coy. This guy was one of the best left tackles in the league this season. Peters even said it himself, one of the best, if not the best. And here's what I love about this. Peters is being straight up. No games, no smoke and mirrors. He's saying, this guy is elite. We want him here long term, and we're going to make it happen. That's exactly what he did with Terry McLaurin last year. And they eventually got it done. Now, the McLaurin deal took longer than we all expected, even after Peters said he wanted it fast. So I'm telling you, just because Peters wants a quick deal doesn't mean it's happening tomorrow. If Tunsil wants more than Peters is ready to pay, they'll have to meet in the middle. Let's talk about what Tunsil means to this team. He's not just elite on the field, he's a leader in the locker room. Peters said it. He's a great leader, even if he's not super vocal. He's a fantastic mentor for the younger linemen. That kind of leadership is priceless, especially with a young QB like Jayden Daniels. And speaking of Jayden, protecting our franchise QB has to be the #1 priority. Daniels got hurt 3 times this season. 3. And while Tunsil can't prevent every injury, having an elite left tackle cuts the risk way down. The blind side is sacred in the NFL. Now here's something interesting. Tunsil recently posted on social media, "Get paid, not played." That man knows his worth. He knows he's one of the best, and he's not taking a lowball offer. And honestly, I respect that. In the NFL, you've got to fight for every dollar because your career can end in a heartbeat. And remember what Kingsbury said about Tunsil before he got fired. It'd be hard to find anyone who played better at that position this year. He's going to get paid. Kingsbury knew what he had. And now, with a new offensive coordinator and a new O-line coach coming in, having Tunsil around all off-season is crucial. Think about it. New OC, new O-line coach, new system. Tunsil needs to be there to learn it, to build chemistry with the line. If this drags into July or August, that's valuable time lost. Here's my prediction. I think Peters gets this deal done before mandatory minicamp in June. Why? Because Peters is smart. He knows that after all the drama with the coordinator firings, he needs a win in the PR department. Locking up Tunsil long-term would be exactly that. So how much are we talking? The top left tackles in the league are making between 25 and 30 million a year. Trent Williams is at the top with 23 million annually on his last deal. I think Tunsil's going to aim for around 28 million per year, with 65 to 70 million guaranteed. You think Peters is going to pay that? I do! Because the alternative is letting Tunsil walk in free agency. Then what? Draft a rookie and hope he's as good? That's a massive gamble. Or sign another tackle in free agency and probably pay the same or more for someone not as good. And here's something about Peters. He believes in paying your own guys. We saw it with McLaurin. We're seeing it with Tunsil. It's cheaper to keep your stars than to replace them. And in a league where elite left tackles are rare, Tunsil is straight up gold. So now I'm asking you, do you trust Peters to get this deal done? Or are we in for another drawn-out drama like with McLaurin? News 3. Lawrence Cager signing, and just when you thought we were done, we've got one more piece of news. The Commanders signed tight end Lawrence Cager to a futures contract. And I know what you're thinking. Why should I care about a futures deal? And I'm telling you, these little moves are how you build depth. Let me break it down for those who don't know. A futures contract is basically an invite to training camp. You're telling the player, come compete for a roster spot in the off-season. No guarantees, no big money, just a shot. Cager's been grinding for a spot in the league since 2020. He came in undrafted with the Jets out of Georgia. Spent time with the Jets, Browns, Giants, and now us. In 2025, he played 1 game for us and didn't record a single stat. So why bring him back? Because we need bodies at tight end. Look at our depth chart. We've got Zach Ertz, who's 35 and near the end of the road. We need to develop young guys who can eventually take over. And Cager, at 28, still has time to grow. Will he make the 53-man roster? Probably not. But here's the value of these futures deals. These guys come into camp hungry. They know this might be their last shot at the NFL. That hunger, that urgency, raises the level of competition. And that's good for everyone. When players are fighting for every rep, The starters can't slack off. They've got to bring it every day because someone's right behind them waiting for a chance. That's what separates good teams from bad ones. And look, Cage's got experience. He's been in multiple systems, worked with different coaches. That kind of background is valuable on a practice squad. When you're prepping for an opponent, you need guys who can mimic different play styles. Plus, with all the coaching changes, new OC, new O-line coach, having vets who know the building helps with the transition. They can help new coaches understand the locker room culture, help young players adjust to the new system. And here's something most folks overlook. These futures deals are cheap. We're talking league minimum, maybe around 800 grand if he makes the roster. And if he doesn't, you cut him with no penalty. It's basically zero risk with potential upside. Is this the most exciting news of the day? Obviously not. But it's part of how you build a team in the NFL. It's not all about splashy free agents or first-round picks. Sometimes it's about finding hidden gems, guys other teams gave up on. And let me say this about Adam Peters. The man knows how to find talent. He did it in San Francisco, helped build a roster that went to multiple Super Bowls. So if Peters sees something in Cager, even just as a practice squad guy, I trust that judgment. So now I'm asking you, do you think Cager has a shot to make the 53, or is he just another camp body? Look, Commanders Nation, after all this, the internal chaos, the Tunsil situation, the under-the-radar roster moves, I'm telling you, we're at a critical moment for this franchise. The decisions made in the next few months will show whether we've really moved on from the Snyder era, or if we just changed the name on the door. Do you think Adam Peters and Dan Quinn can work through their differences? Or are we watching the beginning of the end for Quinn? And what about Tunsil? Should we pay whatever it takes? Or is there a limit? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what the nation thinks. And if you want to keep getting the hottest Commanders news and analysis you won't find anywhere else, subscribe to this channel because I promise you, more bombshells are coming tomorrow. Hit that bell so you don't miss a single update. This offseason is moving fast, and you can't afford to miss a thing.